All right, guys, Monday morning update. Davis Auto Sales, Davis Drives on YouTube. If you can't find us, there we are. But hopefully you're watching it on here. If not, you might be watching it on TikTok. But been an interesting weekend. And I told you guys we have a crazy customer story. And I mean, literally the customer was crazy, I think. So I'm going to bring you that, guys, in just a second. As you can see in the background, the Honda hoarding, I guess some people call it, hasn't changed since the weekend because I didn't have a chance to bring any in, but I did get probably a dozen almost ready and rideable and running and carburetors cleaned and brakes adjusted and tubes put in tires. And again, if you haven't watched anything else, these are fun for us because we go back to the 80s with them. Literally, there's the one we got in the 80s and we still have it. And I've got a cool story coming very soon about one that I hopefully will acquire and put to rest my search for my number 2 ATV. And a long story that goes along with it that means a lot about business and life. So, you know, we try to mix that together in these episodes. And it is so polleny outside. Kristen did a live, but we're not going to go back out there because I even have to wear my shades in here because my freaking eyes are swollen so bad from the pollen falling. So wherever you're at in the world watching this, if you're around here, the pollen is getting right. But it's also shorts weather. Time to get a little sunlight on the skin. And you'll see in the background a cool square body, the totally blacked out Can-Am there with the big wheels, the Can-Am Bandit, the Chevette with an LS. No reason these are in here just randomly other than just to get them out of the weather, and Friday became very hectic. But here's something kind of cool. So my late father, which those are his vehicles, did the same thing I do now 48 years ago and forward. Actually, he did it longer than that. Officially in business 49 years, 1976. But even before that, he would fix up a car and sell it, you know, a few here and there. But when he went official business, he went officially in business as a licensed person. Just like me, I was selling stuff at 12 years old, which goes back to a story about one of these ATVs. But my dad was doing it, you know, for the last 60-some years, basically, ever since he was 12 or 13 years old. So Mom's going through some stuff. We got a couple things. This cool old fire extinguisher here, super old. He was turning this into a lamp. Didn't finish it, but we will now finish it, and it will be on display in one of these showrooms. And very blessed to have these showrooms. Again, we went 40-some years with no showroom. Nothing. Dad had a personal garage that was so full you couldn't get stuff in it. Our personal garages were slam full. We started doing lift kits in our driveway as we all still lived at home. That's how the off-road shop started. And we finally officially had a showroom in 2020. And then across the street came and we finished one, then we finished the other. Now we have next door coming up. So blessed to have these showrooms. We want to decorate it with stuff. When people come in, we still have customers that my dad sold to, you know, 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds, heck, even a 90-year-old customer that we dealt with the other day. So we still have older customers that we deal with. They still have to have wheels to get around, and they still trust us very well. We take care of their needs, buying or selling. So anyway, rambling on that. So some stuff she came across, and there's box vans and box vans full of this stuff, but it's so cool these days because when my dad bought these, just like me buying just the other day, I had to buy a center cap for a Chevy work van. Call GM, give them the VIN number. They sent it to me, right? Okay, no problem. We try to deal with the dealer. Even our vehicle for oil changes, they get a Ford filter, a Chevy filter, a Toyota filter. We use factory stuff as much as we can. We don't just skimp out. Yes, we have to use Advance and Napa and other places too, but we try to use the dealer. So these hubcaps, pretty cool. Now, you know, they're in good shape for what they are, and there is a fourth one. I just didn't bring it in. Not quite sure on what those are, but I did a little bit of research and dropped this picture in. Crazy if you didn't realize how much dog dish hubcaps go for. And the reason for this video is it's kind of like these ATVs. Why do they call it dog dish hubcaps? Because you yank these off your truck or your car because everybody thought cars were cooler when they had just steel wheels. It looked racier, I guess. And I think if you went to the drag strip, you had to take these off because they would fly off and become a flying saucer to kill somebody. But what'd you do with them? You literally turned it into a dog dish for your dog. or your cat, you put dog food in and water in it. I can attest to this because my parents' old house, if anybody ever goes back where we had our dog pens and excavates, they're going to think they struck gold because they're going to find so many old stainless and chrome hubcaps. But here's the really cool part. 4 brand new from the 70s in the packaging. One of them was tore open. That's the only reason I opened it. The rest are still sealed. Check this out. I don't want to tear it any more than I have to. Brand new Chevrolet hubcaps. Pretty darn cool. And I drop a picture here. I think this is a similar style to this, but this would have been something in the 60s or early 70s. If you guys know, drop it in the comments. Probably can run the part number and figure it out. But not sure when he bought these, but he bought these when you just called GM and ordered them. Because that's, again, how we like to do things. So, pretty cool. But most of those got thrown away. They're gone, you know. So if you're restoring a truck like we're currently doing to a lot of classic Chevrolets, just 81 to 87. Again, dog dish hubcaps, but the front ones have a hole cut in them for the locking hub. Here's a picture of what they go for. We have thrown away hundreds of sets of these. We're guilty of it. We threw them away. Just like when my parents moved 10 years ago, I had a whole rafter full of factory tires. The first thing you do is take your tires off your ATV and put something cooler on it, right? What happened to the old ones? Hoarded them, saved them, till I had to move them. I didn't want to take them to my house. My parents had to get rid of them because they sold their house. We threw them in a dumpster. They're gone. Now, here I am searching for the Holy Grail to find factory tires to put back on stuff like this. How circles happen. That's how it works. We threw whole bikes away. I remember having carcasses and frames. We threw whole 3-wheelers and whole 4-wheelers away because I didn't want to take them home. It would have been stupid, you know. Why move that junk again? It's got black widows and spiders and snakes. We literally chunked it in a dumpster and it's gone. I'd give anything to buy that dumpster back today. But that's the cycle of things. Why are square bodies so popular? Because most of them got thrown away. Same way, we junked and junked and junked them, turned them into mud bog trucks, cut them up, used one part off of them, disabled them. But now, you know, people want them again. People want these 3-wheelers again. How many people commented or sent text messages since the last video? My first bike was this, my first bike was that, whatever. It's just kind of iconic, and we love being able to make that fit, especially, like I said, with the square bodies. That one's a huge, crazy example, not the best one. But anyway, on to the customer story. We sell a food trailer. And I think the customer's actually on here. And that's okay, because we're not going to say anything that's not true. So and we're not going to name a name. But we don't sell a lot of food trailers. So about 2 weeks ago, Christian starts a texting chain of a bunch of questions. Holding tank, water tank, measure this, measure that. Boom, 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 boom. Answer every question. Cool. What, $16,000? $16,000. Brand new. I don't think it's ever been used. Matter of fact, all the paperwork was still in the sink, so it hadn't ever been used. So, okay, cool, we're buying it. Well, then a couple days go by. Please be patient with us. We got to work with a bank. Okay, that's no problem. 16 grand, but you know, whatever. Bank needs a bunch of stuff. We send everything they need. We send this. We send copies of that. We send everything. Normal process, no big deal. And again, we don't hold vehicles. So, if somebody would have come along to buy it, then it would have been for sale. If somebody hit on eBay to buy it, it would have been sold. But they asked at one point, please hold it for us. So we did that. Against our norm, but we held the vehicle. We don't sell a lot of food trailers. It wasn't a big deal. So Christian's corresponding with them. 2 weeks goes by. Lo and behold, it was Thursday. Supposed to have been Monday, then it was Tuesday, then it was Thursday they come down. And it's a husband and wife. And the wife's been doing most of the coordinating. The husband comes down and gets it, asks a couple questions, hooks up to it, pays for it, hands us a certified check. And that's where this video is going. I want you guys that are watching, that are selling stuff, to understand this and understand the process. And then we're going to do a whole video separate for our frequently asked questions about this. But I'm going to go ahead and explain it now. Christian, you can actually cut it and put it in there. We were presented with a cashier's check. In case you did not realize, cashier's checks are the most frauded form of payment there is. You know good and well you went to the bank and got that check. But the other gazillion of them out there floating around are fraudulent. We would prefer to take a personal check over a cashier's check. It has more validity, unfortunately. If you're taking a cashier's check, it sucks. I can promise you guys, probably 50% of them out there are bad. I know it's a huge number. Research it. Check out other videos about it. So on that check, we noticed that it had a lien holder. That means they went to the bank and borrowed the money. Proper protocol for that. I'm not sure if this is ethical or it's actually lawful, but either way, it's our way we do business. On the wall, painted right on the wall, says any check given to us is held for 14 days before the title's released. Why? Because our bank has told us that a check can go bad up to the 14th day. You don't know. We just deposit our checks. We don't go cash them, guys. We deposit them. And checks do go bad. People overdraft. They don't know. These days, crap happens. Sometimes it's innocent. Sometimes it's not. So anyway, we finish up and get everything done. They sign. They give the check. The next morning, we need the title. It's going to be 14 business days. You presented us with a check. Now, where this gets a little bit different is there's a lien holder. So our policy and process is we only release the title to the lien holder. So if you're Wells Fargo Bank or you're XYZ Credit Union, no matter where you're at in the country, we protect the lender by making sure the title goes to them. Now, will we differ from that? Yes. The lender sends my mom, which is Gail, an email and says, Gail, it's okay for you to release XYZ Credit Union's title to XYZ customer. Cool. We have it in writing from a bank, from a banker's email. Then we will mail it to the customer directly. And a lot of times it's that way because the credit union might be in Canada and the customer might be in Texas. There's no need of going to Canada then to Texas. We're okay with that. Now again, that's partly ethics, but it's also, if you read the back of a cashier's check from a bank that has a lien, it says you will make sure the lien is recorded. And a lot of them say you will make sure it's mailed to the credit union because sometimes the credit union is doing the DMV. So I don't hear anything. And about 5 o'clock, I hear Mike on the phone with the customer again. We kind of getting a little frantic. They were getting a little huffy-puffy. They wanted the title. The check had cleared, supposedly. Now, this deal happened on Thursday. They're calling on Friday. The check had cleared. Please send the title. You have your money. Okay. If you can send something from the bank that says it's cleared, and the bank can send something to say that it's okay to send to you, we'll differ from our policy for you to do that. Again, if you don't realize, we can deposit a check, get the money into our account, and then when it gets to the check, where it gets to the bank or credit union where it is drawn off of, if it's fraudulent or bad, they take that money back from us. So even though it might have gone in our account, it's not valid until after 14 days, according to our bank. If you're a banker out there, tell us differently. But this is how we've been doing business for a very, very, very long time. So about 6:15, I get a call and says, I don't know who this Gail is or who she thinks she is, but she's not good at her job. And I said, well, sir, I said, Gail is actually the owner of this company, for one. And she does know how to do her job. She actually sits on lots of different committees and different things, and the VIEDA. It doesn't matter. We're in Tennessee. None of that applies. I said, sir, DMV's nationwide. You know, it's everywhere. The rules are no different. You paid with a check. We have to wait for it to clear. We've already verified that it cleared. Well, we don't have that in writing or in an email. And along that time, somebody did send an email, but it was from the same email address as the people buying, not from the bank. So get off the phone, and like 10 minutes later, I happen to be at my desk a little later than normal on a Friday, trying to leave. Call comes back again. And it says, we're just going to bring the unit back. We're going to cancel the funds and close the account and bring the unit back if that's what y'all care, because we paid $16,000 of our hard-earned money for this unit. Well, first off, they didn't pay $16,000 of their hard-earned money. They got a loan, and it was one of 5 things we sold that day, and it was the cheapest thing. But I don't care if somebody buys something for $6. The process is the process, and we stand behind and we do right. I don't care how much you spend with us. We're going to take care of you either way. I said, sir, on Monday. Monday is not soon enough. It's going to happen tomorrow, or we're bringing the unit back, and we're canceling the account. And I said, well, sir, I thought y'all said the check had already cleared. Oh, we can go above and beyond. We're dealing with the bank's manager, and we can get this taken care of. And I said, sir, you can call tomorrow. We can try to figure it out tomorrow if the credit union is open, but it's going to be Monday before somebody's back in the office to release the title, and we'll overnight it or whatever we have to do. We'll get this figured out if everything is legit. Are you saying it's not legit? I'm saying, no, sir. We just have to have our proper paperwork. So finally, I figured we're all done. Well, about 8 o'clock, my mom starts texting me. The lady that bought the thing is just emailing me nasty messages and this and that, and they're returning it, and we're the worst and all this. I told my mom, which is a 70-plus-year-old woman, that's a widow, at home, not wanting to deal with this on a Friday, ready to enjoy her weekend. And I said, look, just tell them nicely you're going to bed. You'll get with them tomorrow. And email kept coming, and email kept coming. So finally, she stopped returning emails. We were doing everything by the book. We knew we were good. So we called Mike. She briefed me. Mike talked to the credit union, didn't get anywhere, that we would be taking care of it on Monday. Well, lo and behold, come Monday, I guess they've talked to their banker. Their banker finally sent us an email, told them we're doing everything protocol proper and protecting the bank, protecting everybody involved, verified that the check had cleared. Mom also pulled the check out, the copy of it, and it says the check can't be canceled and all this other stuff. So customer was making a threat, obviously, that they were going to cancel the check after saying that they had cashed the check already. So put yourself in our shoes. Would you want to release it then, not knowing if your money was even good anymore? So we questioned it. We figured it out. We got it done. Customers will get their title early. We're breaking the policy because we have verified the money. We've taken extra steps. We've spent hours out of our day and night after hours just explaining to calm them down that you're going to get what's right. Now, again, some dealers don't even have the title. They're playing the game. You know, I tell customers all the time, ask for the title. If you're buying anywhere, private, dealership, big dealership, you should be able to see the title. We're not the only dealership in the world doing it right, but there's a lot doing it wrong. Ask for the title. We had it. They signed it the day they were here. So again, thankfully we do our stuff right. Some dealers would not have had that title, and they would have been fussing and raising hell, and it would have been a bad situation. But anyway, long story short, that's why we take the time to validate everything. That's why we take the time to do the processes we do, because it's protecting the bank, which is who gave the people the money to do the deal and had a lien on the check. We did everything right. There's nothing else we could do, but the only reason I'm doing that is because it got my mom very frustrated, and that was unnecessary. I really wanted to reach through the phone and take care of things a little bit differently on a Friday afternoon when somebody insults my mother. You know, that's after visiting my 102-year-old grandmother. You know, I do anything for my family or my employees, and you don't do that. But again, there was no need getting in a pissing match. We already knew we were right. It didn't need to escalate any further. They could have brought the thing back. We didn't give two rats behinds about it, you know, for them to poke their chest out that they came and spent money that wasn't even their money, and they were just blowing all the steam they could. Maybe the husband and wife had an argument. I don't know what happens at that household. I wouldn't want to be there because it was not good. But they got a basically brand new unit for a great deal. The man even commented he went elsewhere to pick up a trailer, and they sold it before he got there, and it was far more money, and it was older, and it wasn't equipped as good as this one. So we know they got a great deal. We know they got what they wanted. We held it for them when we promised, when somebody else didn't. So I don't know how much else we could have done. But end of story is, you know, they go get a title. Everything's good. Should have gone this way from the beginning. We should have stuck to our guns. We should have just held the title just out of pure principle after them being nasty, because there's nothing wrong with what we do. It's posted everywhere. But we're going to make our customer happy. At the end of the day, that's what we want to do. So thanks, guys. Hope you stayed to the end. Christian is going to announce the winner. He's got it on his desk, but unfortunately, we got behind for the last Watch Till the End video, and that guy will be getting, or girl, I'm not going to say yet, will be getting some merch. So be looking for an email, somebody out there, and we'll do another one of those probably tomorrow. Like I said, I want to do one a week, And that customer is going to, customer or not, as long as you're a follower, you're going to get your prize. And we'll do this also for TikTok. So thanks for the support. Great weekend, guys. Spent it with the family, having a good time, working on ATCs and ATVs. And we are back at it. Beautiful weather other than the pollen, and got a busy week ahead. Thanks.